Music is an incredible thing, also, script that you probably see. But music is an incredible thing. It is, in my opinion, the best thing to ever exist. So yes, and then microphone plugged in and anything. I truly believe music is the greatest thing to ever exist. Musicians can speak freely about their emotions, how they are feeling, you know, all that stuff about mental health. Earl Sweatshirt talks a lot about his anxieties, especially on something like some rap songs. And there's just so much music out there in the world. Not even English speaking music, there's like great music from Japan, Brazil, probably even more places I just haven't even tapped into yet. Music is, in my opinion, the greatest thing to ever exist, and it is so incredible. However, only some music fans I think are just genuinely cool people. Some of my closest friends are like music fans, and they're like people I get along with very well. However, for the most part, I feel like a lot of music fans have quite, I don't know how to put it, but the discourse is quite vapid. A lot of the time, they cannot explain why something connects with them. I have noticed it's either that or they're constantly just hating, and it's a constant cycle of negativity that just kind of feeds into an algorithm on like Twitter or something, and it's kind of miserable because I think we should more talk about, especially in these times, we should more talk about the stuff that we do really like, because the news is already filled with such negative and depressing headlines of course, the war in Iran, which is illegal, you know? And so in these times, we should try and find some sort of solace in trying to find just peace with music and some form of connection. There is a video I have planned coming soon that is kind of going to be talking more about this sort of stuff, but with the James Blake album, because I feel like I have so much to say about that. Anyways, that is a bit of my rant done. Do you still like music? If the answer is yes, and you have made it this far, congrats. Now we're going to get to the real meat of everything. The reason I thought of this video is that for a while, I have had these thoughts in my mind of not only music fans, but also music critics. And so I thought, it would be important, of course, in the video about music to discuss, not only online music discourse, but to talk about something like fantano and pitchfork, because in my opinion, they are not even the best music, platforms. Pitchfork, you have to fucking subscribe to it now to even see their ratings, or whatever, something like that. It's dumb. And honestly, Pitchfork, it is genuinely just built. It is just built on a constant cycle of negativity and just honestly rage bait. That's why a lot of their reviews are either incredibly negative or incredibly high. And it works. That's the saddest thing. It works. I'm so sorry, but it works. And there is posts about Pitchfork, Pitchfork this, Pitchfork that, whether it's good or bad, mainly bad because Pitchfork suck. They suck. I don't know if you have actually read the little notes they give for albums, but I have read a few of them. They are like, they don't say that much. I feel like, sure, some of them don't need that much explanation, but some of them need a bit more. I would like to put them in this video, but I don't know how to edit yet, so yeah. And honestly, I have sort of similar issues with Fantano. However, with Fantano, my more issues are that a lot of the time he misses the point and certain stuff. I will never forget his Housey review where he basically says that the music is like, if I'm remembering correctly, it was like main character music or something along those lines, and it's like she's talking about her experience with cancer and divorce, I believe. look, I'm not defending Halsey. Like, she's done a lot of that shit. But, like, we're talking about this album specifically. That's what we're talking about, nothing else and nothing more. And calling basically this album, well, she has had an experience with cancer, main character music, and then just immediately, like, dumbing down what she experienced, I felt like that was incredibly harmful and toxic, personally. It really made me look at him, like, with, like, much more critical, like, lens. I hardly watch Fantano anymore since that video, because it really, like, was one of the worst things I think I've watched. Now, as I'm talking about all this, I feel like this is an important thing to bring up, that I was almost a music critic at some point. I have already been told by a lot of people I have amazing, like, sort of ability to talk about music, to talk about why I like something, because I have good writing skills, not to brag. However, I have had to ask these people saying, would I genuinely be a good music critic? And they cannot answer. And I don't think being a music critic would even be in my best interest. As much as I do love music, I do not want to be a critic at all. I already sort of am a critic when I'm listening to music my own way, but I do not want to be a professional music critic. That kind of seems miserable. Another thing I wanted to talk about in this is the Rachel Music Album of the Year discourse. Well, maybe not the discourse about them, but just the people on those sites. I'm so sorry, I keep looking at my script. But my issues I have with a lot of these people are that most of the time the music they only listen to is considered as in, like, the Rachel Music Top 100. They do not branch out of that. And that's kind of, like, a bit depressing, in my opinion, because even though a lot of the music I listen to ends up being very highly rated, I still try and keep my open mind and try and just, like, sometimes just fun pop music overtake, and I think that's okay. It's okay to let just mainstream stuff be catchy and fun. Because, unironically, one of my favorite songs is Barbie Girl by Aqua. I genuinely really like that song. And I won't let anybody tell me, I won't let anybody hate me for it. Or if you hate me for it, I don't know, I can't really tell you to do anything else, I'm still going to enjoy the song. But it kind of genuinely upsets me that they only will listen to what is considered the best of the best music, because there is already so much great music out there that is not even that highly rated. And it's like, maybe try and keep more of the branch of the open mind to all these different sort of sounds. Another issue I have is that a lot of the people on these sort of websites act like they have superior music taste. Like, what? Why are you acting superior? I have a video coming soon too. I know I'm teasing a whole lot of stuff. It should hopefully not be that long of waiting, but I have a video coming soon potentially that might delve even deeper into this. But for the most part, I do not like how people act like, oh, I have better music taste than you because I listen to Swans or Godspeed You Black Emperor. Because, like, okay, I don't care that much that you listen to them. Like, I would rather not that. Like, I don't care that much. It is awesome if you like those bands because they have some really good music, but you don't need to act like, oh, superior because I listen to longer music and whatever. Like, who gives a shit? You know, like, who cares at the end of the day? And it honestly kind of upsets me to see a lot of the music elitism because of the fact, like, you know, we're human at the end of the day. We want to express ourselves, and you're kind of getting shot down. I love Quedeca, right? He's my favorite artist. I have said this probably a few times already. A lot of my friends already know this, right? But I have seen many people just get shut down for their opinions because they like Quedeca. I have also seen the complete opposite. I have seen people that have just been getting a bunch of hate in their opinion shut down because they just do not like Quedeca at all, and I think that's kind of dumb. Like, because I like Quedeca and someone doesn't like Quedeca, I'm not going to be like, oh, I listen to better music. We just have different tastes, and that's okay. At the end of the day, we're all going to have our own taste. The only time I think it actually works to say you have better music taste than someone is if you're talking to someone who listens to like Tom MacDonald. Okay, because that's just hateful music, and it is like genuinely disgusting stuff. Like fuck Tom MacDonald and all that shit. I shouldn't have to say that, but that is a very obvious thing I thought I should mention. You know, but genuine just it is upsetting because I do not like the superiority complex I see a lot of people having, because it's like you're not better, you know, you're not better for listening to this music. You know, that does not just automatically mean oh you're cooler and stuff. You have to just genuinely be a cool person who listens to cool music. You know, the music can't make you cooler. You have to find the cool within yourself. That sounds really corny, but I'm gonna keep that in. Right, now we're heading to the last bit. We're gonna get a bit woke on this, I guess you could say. But I wanted to more talk about, this is less to talk about the fans, but I wanted to talk about how a lot of the time I've been seeing a bunch of ignorance to politics in music. I am the firm believer that politics, like art, like music and art in general, its roots are in politics. Not every like artist is political. You know, I'm not gonna listen to like a Young Thug song and say that he's talking a lot about the racial inequalities of the world and the superiority complex of the right wing. But that's okay. You know, not every artist has to be political, but at its core, music, I believe, is inherently political, and that goes just for all art, in my opinion. This time, I want to actually talk about musicians, because I wanted to bring up recent comments made by Johnny Greenwood and Gene Simmons, where they were saying to keep politics and music like separate, and it's like, first of all, I'm not gonna listen to Johnny Greenwood. You're like a hardcore Zionist. Honestly, I have a thing in my notes that literally just says Radiohead Zionism because it was so fucking embarrassing. You know, to see Radiohead. Radiohead have have made political music. Hail to the Thief. You know, OK Computer has a lot of those politics in it. Same with Kid A, if I'm not wrong. And seeing a lot of what Tom York and Johnny Greenwood have been saying completely makes me not want to listen to them, because it's like really stupid shit. Like, these guys are idiots. Like, Tom York was being a centrist and all that stuff, and it's like, hey, there's like a whole genocide in Gaza, you know, and it's been happening for years at this point, even longer than October 4th, if I'm remembering the date correctly. It has been happening since at least like the 1950s, the whole genocide. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Israel is a Zionist genocidal state with the government that is attacking and just bombing innocent civilians, and it just gets more and more destructive every day. And now they're attacking, and now Israel and the US are attacking Iran for oil. That's it. That's basically it at the end of the day. And it is fucking disgusting. They are literally committing war crimes against humanity. We are literally about to enter World War III because of them, and people are still defending them. And it's just fucking disgusting. And Tom York and Johnny Greenwood are like, oh, let's keep politics and music out. Like, just shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna listen to you now. And that's what Gene Simmons said, like a very similar thing. I'll be honest, I'm not that entirely familiar with all of Gene Simmons because I mainly tried to ignore the stuff he said, but he had like very ignorant comments about rap music. And I'm like, shut up, because rap music is art. He was saying something like, oh, rap shouldn't be in like the Hall of Fame or something. Or I think it was Hall of Fame. If I'm wrong, correct me. And it's genuinely just disgusting. See, and honestly, I've seen a lot of people say to keep politics and music separate, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, shut up. I know a lot of that was a very ranty of a political thing, but I guess we have a nicer way to end this video off. We're ending this video off with, how do I show my passion for music without just being a dick? Well, that's the first thing. Just don't be a dick. It's that easy. You see somebody listening to music, like, even if you don't like it, you know, be respectful. Be like, oh, it wasn't for me, but cool, you like it, or something. Although that is very hard, you know. Learn to do it. It's not that fucking hard to just be open, to be respectful to what people are listening to, you know, and don't just immediately go to someone who's listening to something you don't like and be like, oh, that's spiritually Israeli, because that is just undermining an entire genocide, you know. And I do not like the spiritually Israeli stuff. It is not funny, you know. It's not that funny. It's just, I don't know. I don't feel like I have much to say other than it's just not funny, and it's just undermining an entire genocide. And for the last part with this, try and keep an open mind to any sort of music, and yes, this is including pop music, mainstream music, all that sort of stuff. Try and keep an open mind. I will agree, not all of it is amazing, but try and just keep your open mind to it, because sometimes there might be a song that just really, you know, catches you, and you might end up really loving it. Anyways, that's the whole video. See ya!